Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Today happens to be my birthday, and we've all kind of been celebrating it in our own ways. It's been a lot of fun, I gotta say. It's nice to be able to connect with people from all around the world in this chat room. Makes this small home office seem a little bit bigger. And people have been asking what are my plans with Ponzi today, and we're going to be going out to dinner. There's something I know about, and I only learned about after meeting Ponzi. Some restaurants have this thing called a tasting menu. Now, typically, you go into a restaurant, you go and you look at the menu, you say, "I want this," and then you get that. But there are some restaurants that have this tasting menu, and the idea behind it is that you can sample a wide variety of foods, but instead of having a big plate full of tons of food, you have tons of small plates with just a little bit of food, and you think, "Oh, I'm never going to get full," and after the sixth little plate of food, believe it or not, you actually feel full. So I love trying tasting menus. The problem is that it's not cheap, so we usually only do this one time out of the year, and since our birthdays are about a week apart, we decided to do it right around this time. So we're celebrating tonight by going to a restaurant in Seattle called Rover's. They have a tasting menu, and just to give you an idea about the kind of food that you can try without realizing that you ordered a plate of something that you didn't like. I just love tasting menus, and this is the food that I get to try tonight for my 34th birthday, and that Ponzi will be trying in celebration of her 29th birthday. We will be having something, and I'm probably going to slaughter these names because a lot of this stuff I would never order on a menu. A lot of it's French. So, not to say that French food is bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just I can't pronounce anything in French. So we're going to start out with amuse bouche. I don't know if that's like some kind of drink. Ahi tuna tartare with cucumber salad and white sturgeon caviar. Ooh, I like caviar. Caviar is fun. Then we're moving on to Dungeness crab cake with roasted pepper, greens, and lemon oregano. Oregano. That was my Marge Simpson impression, and a bad one at that. Lemon oregano dressing. Then we're going on to Maine lobster with a stuffed squash blossom and basil duré. No, basil duré blanc. Okay, so it must be the dressing for it. Then we're moving on to Oregon quail with roasted baby beet, wild boar prosciutto, and sage reduction. That would be the sauce. I do know that. Then it's Hudson Valley foie gras. I like foie gras. With purple plum, apricot puree, and cider gastrique. Isn't that the thing that Larry King pimps all the time? Gastrique? Copper River salmon, Torendos with fava bean, smoked bacon, and a red wine sauce. Then we go to hibiscus sorbet, then on to lamb medallion with grilled onion, plagiole, and black peppercorn sauce. Then it's the symphony of desserts, and then mignardizes for $5. Also available as a European and local cheese assortment. So, if that didn't get you hungry, I don't know what will. It sounds like it's going to be a fantastic menu tonight, an expensive menu, but still fantastic, and we only do it once a year. If you're going to celebrate on your birthday. If you've never had a tasting experience, a tasting menu experience, it's strongly recommended. Now, don't think that I'm getting gigantic plates of each one of these. Like I said, it's just hardly anything on each plate, but by the time I get to maybe the fourth or fifth course, I'm stuffed. The one tip I have to share for you, if you've never had a tasting menu experience before, when they give you bread, don't eat it. You will fill up on bread, and you're going to think, "Oh, I'm going to be so hungry, I'm so hungry." I have not eaten all day for a reason. I've had tasting menus here at Rover's a few times. I've gone to other restaurants that have tasting menus, and honestly, I think Rover's is about the best I've ever had. Ponzi would disagree, but then again, tastes are kind of personal, and my personal taste happens to coincide with the way the chef at Rover's handles his food. Anyway, it's going to be a fun night. I can't think of a better way to celebrate my birthday than with my lovely wife Ponzi, and we're definitely going to have a good meal. Rover's has always been good, and even though I can't pronounce these these foods, it's not hamburger. I can pronounce that. I know these are going to taste absolutely fantastic. I'm a little eerie, or leery, I should say. Eerie. What am I thinking? I haven't eaten all day. That's my problem. I'm leery on the Oregon quail, but the wild boar prosciutto might offset it somewhat. Wild boar. I'm going to be eating wild boar tonight. Yay. Anyway, have you guys ever tried a tasting menu? And I know this is a little off course of what we usually do with technology questions and answer, but I'd be curious because Ponzi and I travel around the U.S. and the world, and we're always looking for good places to eat. So, in your neck of the woods, have you ever gone to a tasting menu, and what has your experience been? And more importantly, can you name it? Give me the restaurant, where you're at, and the name of the restaurant with a tasting menu, and let us know. Is it any good? It's kind of like, I know I could go to City Search and look up restaurant reviews, but it's always better for me to reach out to my Trust Network, and you, by watching the rest of this video, or the entire video, are a part of the Trust Network. I'm interested. I'd like to know what other tasting menus are out there, and if you think they're as good as I think they are, this is the way I wish I could experience every restaurant, because that way I don't have to choose one thing. The chef chooses for me, and I get to, partake in what they believe is the best food out there in terms of how they put it together with the sauces, in some cases wine, and it's just so much fun. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. I'm sure you are too. In fact, I'm not surprised you've already stopped this if you haven't already stopped this video to walk to the kitchen to get a snack. Huh? See, exactly. People are already snacking, I'm telling you. All right, well, anyway, just curious. Leave us a message, feedback, whatnot. Let us know what you think about tasting menus. Or, of course, swing by the chat room. I don't know if we're necessarily always talking about food, but food is something that we all need and enjoy. Ponzi, every once in a while, will do a cooking show, which people have reacted favorably to. Maybe we can get her to do some kind of Ponzi tasting menu and have dinner together on the internet, virtually. How's that sound? Well, even if that doesn't sound appetizing, hopefully our website is, and that can be found at live.pirillo.com.